everyone to Taking Mental Health Off the Shelf. Today we're going to talk about single fatherhood, and joining us is Corion Lucas. And so he's going to tell us a little bit about his experience and some of the things that are important to know being a single father. So Corion, you take it away. What is it like? What is it like talking to the mic?
It's a real roller coaster.
Yeah.
Aspects of it are like this. Like when I have my girls, 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm divorced, and I actually, thank God, I co-parent with their mother.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. It's a lot, though, especially being like a male having two little girls. Like,
Yes.
It's a lot of areas I have to be responsible for.
Right.
You know? It's
Right.
them and their young womanhood.
You're gonna take those tampon runs?
Right.
Go get that training bra?
Like, people asking about bra, I'm like, not yet. Like, stop. Like, I don't want to talk about
You can't tell her to stop growing.
I'm like, let's not talk about that right now. Let's wait. You know, I gotta get my license to kill because the boys are gonna come and all that fun stuff. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful little girls. It's like,
I've seen them.
great.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. So it's like great, but at the same time it's like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. It's a lot. It's trying to balance like myself, me, my own identity.
Yes.
And then manage two different little girls and their developmental stages. And
right. Well, I'm sorry to take off, but one of the things that just jumped in my mind right now is having to kind of switch your mind a bit when you're, talking to an adult versus talking to an 8-year-old.
Like,
right.
Yeah, it's
take it away.
I want to be like, look, and just like lay it down for it, but it's like, no, okay, let me think on her level of comprehension and try to give examples or like metaphors that resonate in her world. Control, no, I don't have, but to say that, can I guide them and lead them and provide them instruction, and I can say, this is what I want you to do, this is what I like you to do, but their methods of carrying that out is going to be completely different than what this mind has in place.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Being able to adjust and adapt to that. Yes.
It's a big deal. Because I'm like, hey, go pick up your shoes. And I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? And my 8-year-old is like, she'll look at me like, she's like, okay, I acknowledge that she hears the command and will kind of do her own little thing for at least maybe another 10 to 15 seconds, which to me seems like an eternity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before she goes and do it. And I'm over like, did I just say like that? Like, and it's like, for some reason, I think like the old school part of me, the part where it was raised by a different generation, is like, when I say do something, do it. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in a restaurant, you sit up. You right. Oh, such a well-behaved. Your kids are well-behaved. Like, hey, you hear that, but like, what does that mean for your child?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. That experience is totally, I'm so glad you brought up generation, just because that is so true. We carry our own experiences, and we respond to them, right? And unless we have someone else to teach us differently, we're operating based on our own understanding, right? And so to be able to pause and really remember what it felt like for you to be in those situations as a child, just because there's so many messages that we take in that are not like blatant, that we just pick up those messages. So if you're yelling at me when I'm sharing with you something difficult, then I am going to take that message in as, I can't talk to you, Dad, because like you're gonna yell at me because it's something that is not necessarily the best of news, and so taking that pause and being patient and not responding and reacting based on an unrealistic, because sometimes we're thinking, like, adult mind is thinking when you tell an adult to do something, boom, it's done. Most cases, right? But when you're talking to a child, like, that's not, first of all, their brain hasn't even developed yet, and so second of all, they're a child. They're learning. And sometimes we don't remember to give space for that. And if we have a lot of responsibilities, we don't have patience for that.
Or we forget that we created them.
And
it's the very things of myself that I wrestle with that my kids embody. You know what I mean? So like, I can see where attention is going to go bad or whatever, or like they're mad, because you reprimand a child and they're like, oh, I'm mad. I'm like, oh, you mad? Like, I start saying, are you mad? Oh, that's how you feel. That's how I did that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when it's necessary, when, you know what I mean? Not every time. Sometimes it's like, no, you're going to sit in it. Like, because you were all the way wrong. But I will admit, like when I'm wrong, and you be like, you know what I mean? Like, you're right. You're right. Right? That's big though. You know what I mean? It's key because it teaches them about, like I said, that own sense of self responsibility or self accountability. Which is major.
And the only way that they're going to learn that is if it's modeled. And you want to teach them that. You want to be the owner of that, you know, for them, you know, being in control of what that process and what that looks like for them. I think one thing that, well, there was quite a few things that I'm hearing you say is, one, being mindful. Being mindful is really important, you know, as a, you know, divorced, single father who works full time and has all these responsibilities. Being mindful, being in the moment is really important. Being open to your children and allowing them to have a voice. And being able to check in with yourself to evaluate, like, who do I want to be for them?
For them, right.
You know, who do I want to be for them? And reflecting on your own experience and seeing what you want to take and what you want to let go. And I think that that's a very humbling journey, you know, because we don't always want to look at that. But I think that it's great that you are willing to do that, because I think that children will benefit greatly when they know that they have a place to belong. And as a parent, that is the responsibility of the parent to create that. You know, because if they don't have that, they're going to find it. They're going to find it.
Probably not the place we want them to find it.
Probably not, because the brain is not developed. You know, so I think that I really commend the work that you're doing, you know, and continuing to do. But and more importantly, I just can appreciate the fact that you're willing to share your story about, you know, what your experiences are like. Not everybody wants to open up that closet, you know, and so you let us in a little bit, and I really appreciate it. So hopefully we'll see you again. Okay. All right. Thanks you guys so much for joining Taking Mental Health Off the Shelf.